All right, 3 o'clock. We got a lot of ground to cover. Now, look, I am happy to get to your Piston calls momentarily, but I want to mix this in because I didn't get a chance to talk about it Thursday or Friday. Neither did Rico. The Wings were playing in Bolivia. We weren't on the air, and it's funny. I spent the weekend down at LSU, and it's funny talking to other people about this Michigan thing and getting an outside perspective. And it was amazing on Friday. The news breaks because it's totally normal, to have multiple staffers fired in season and have your coach serve 2 suspensions for 2 different investigations. But Chris Partridge was fired, your linebackers coach, because he was destroying evidence. Now, you would say, well, for some of you, you didn't do anything wrong. Why would you destroy evidence? Well, that right there is a big problem for you, isn't it? But here's the interesting part. I don't think many of you are aware what a slime ball Chris Partridge is. Do you know who you hired? We said this back in the day. This guy was so slimy, Rutgers wouldn't touch him. Why don't you go back and read how he got Rashawn Gary to go to his high school? This is the guy you got in bed with. This is the guy, Stallions is friends with him, along with somebody else who's close to Jim Harbaugh. More on that in a moment. The point I'm making to you is, every step along the way, 2 things have been true. Michigan cultist media has been wrong, and Sparty Radio has been right. That is a weird dynamic, isn't it? It's weird, man. Because if I go down the whole playbook and the timeline, your media's gotten everything wrong. And now I'm hearing the latest thing. Well, all right, Partridge is gone. That'll be it. Wrong. Look, here's the reality. Let's start out even, Steven. You can live in whatever reality you want, but you don't get the right to be mad when people don't validate it. I don't have to live in the world you live in. Every step along the way, I've told you. You cheated. Staffers knew. This lone wolf stuff's got to stop unless you got a whole flock of lone wolves. And this is going to get really bad for you. And right here, right now, I'm telling you, enjoy your Thanksgiving and enjoy your big game Saturday. And I don't think news will, I'll be surprised, I think. More surprised than not if news breaks before, because I'll tell you right now, the networks are in DEFCON 1. They paid a lot of money for these games. And the big game, the last thing they want to be doing is talking about this. But I think the minute this game ends, you got hell to pay. I mean, if you think Harbaugh is surviving any of this, I think you're insane. I think it's hilarious he's allowed to go up there and tell Ted Lasso jokes. Let me give you an example, okay? At any point, tell me how Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo were asked daily about a man they had never met. Yet Jim Harbaugh's not asked daily about this. Now, it must be nice when I know this factually, so no one's going to be able to argue it. They'd be lying if they did. The Big Ten Network has largely been instructed, you will not talk about this. That's why you can get some of the con artists up there on the TV, including Michigan alums, and they don't even talk about it because they're told not to. I already told you they're not allowed to ask Harbaugh about it on the coach's show. Oh, but we could talk about Mama's bikini. All right. Hey, is anyone going to ask Blake Corum about the LLCs his lawyer was going to take care of? Because here's how that works. You know what I don't need? If you're not going to ask Blake Corum about that, I don't need you there for the photo op of him launching turkeys at poor people. Okay? Don't need it. Because here's how it works with an LLC. This goes one of 2 ways. Either Stallions put Blake Corum's name on there illegally. That's a felony. If you file falsified articles of organization, it's a felony. Either Stallions committed a crime or Blake was in business with an assistant. Which is it? How about we ask that question? I don't need to know Jim's opinion on chicken nuggets. That's hilarious to me. And for all of you, look, here, do the timeline with me. I'll do the timeline with you, okay? Scoreboard. You started out by telling me it was a nothing burger. Wrong. You told me it was a lone wolf. Also wrong. You're basically averaging a staff member a week getting clipped. No advantage. One problem, the data says otherwise, guys. Your points are going down. Opponent points are going up. I talked to Cookies, who I do cash the ticket with. Cookies is an absolute cultist when it comes to S&P Plus. Michigan has underachieved the S&P Plus by almost a touchdown a week since this story broke. A touchdown. Gee, that's weird. Hey, how about your quarterback who said his ankle's feeling great? His completion percentage has plummeted 15%. Doesn't look the same. Oh, we're going to fight this cutscene. No, you're not. We're going to win in court. We have a judge on call. Wrong. You were dead to water. You got thrown out of court. You weren't winning. Oh, we've got a dossier on other teams. Do you? Then where is it? Oh, Ryan Day did this to us. Proven false. Why do I bring these up? Your media has been wrong about this every step of the way. All Rico and I have done is sit here and give you the truth. The truth is we see it and we've been right. That you would pay a price. That staffers had to know. That staffers did know. That you were going to lose staffers. That Harbaugh was going to lose. Shout out amicus briefs. And here's what I'm telling you. I think there's at least one, possibly two more staffers that are going to get got before this is done. And I don't think there is a chance in HELL hell Harbaugh's even eligible to coach next year. So enjoy the last dance. Do whatever you want. But this isn't over. It's just like when you filed your faulty press release. The Big Ten never said we're all done here. The Big Ten explicitly in their release said they reserve the right to punish you when further evidence comes out. Well, now we have a staffer who's on your sideline who got fired. The NCAA showed the Big Ten some of the proof. And you know when the NCAA's investigation was set to wrap up because it was fast-tracked? Late fall. Boy, that's weird. That's right around now. Here's my belief. My belief is, as it's been from the beginning, I live in a realistic world. I never have said, well, they're going to get banned or disbanded or they're not going to play the game. Guys, these networks have spent billions. That's never happening. The NCAA death penalty is never happening again. That happened to SMU because they're SMU. They were forgettable. What's going to happen is you're going to play your games. But it's all going to get vanished. It's all going to get gone. And everyone, like Michigan versus everybody, turn that statement around. Here's the reality. It's everybody against you. You're not playing anyone. You did this dirt. You didn't deny it. If it had no advantage, why do it? If Pat Partridge didn't know about it, why destroy evidence of something you didn't know about? Stop. All I ask you to do in this entire thing is the following. At least question who you're listening to. Is Santa Ono still having fun on Twitter? Because I'm going to tell you the last piece of this that I firmly believe. And from talking to a few people, I think you're going to regret using the phrase bet. I mean, look at the report that came down Friday. Oh, Ross Dellinger. We've got boosters funding the operation. Huh. Interesting. Bet. I think you're going to regret using that phrase. I have said to you from the start, I've been mocked by Wolverines. I've been mocked by people here. I don't care. I go to bed with a clear conscience. Nobody owns me. No logo on my paycheck. I told you gambling's a part of this. You got the FBI on Weiss, U.S. integrity involved. You got the NCAA, the Big Ten. Bet. But I'll tell you right now, you better enjoy right now. And you can suspend disbelief and do whatever you want to do. I think more staffers are going to get got. I think your coach is a dead man walking. Hope he enjoys a little Ted Lasso routine. I think he's toast. And he's going to leave this program in a hell of a lot worse shape than when he found it. So enjoy right now. You better win Saturday. You better win. Because all through this, you, your school, and your compromised media have been wrong every step of the way. Hey, we still waiting for Jim to sign that extension any minute now? Santano going to post any fun pictures of Connor Stallions anymore? You misplayed your hand on this. You did the dirt. And every talking point's been blasted. So Friday when the news dropped and I wasn't here, I mean, it was whatever. I was having fun. But it's nothing I didn't expect. And I'm telling you, I think there's another shoe to drop. And it could be someone real close to Jim. Real close. If it happens, boy, it could really make for an awkward holiday season. More awkward than the fact Jim's at the table. So, you know what? I was told, let it play out. Oh, I have let it play out. And I've enjoyed the entire ride because it keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And while I'm not sure with the holiday you're going to get something before Thanksgiving, yeah, there's more coming. And that Connor Stallions thing with CMU, I know exactly how that went down. It's insanity. Bags of clothing passed through the gates at Spartan Stadium, him being invited there by people with connections to your school. Well, why would they do that? It has no competitive advantage. Because they wanted his help. Because it does matter. Because it is real. Can you imagine? I can't wait. CMU's going to get crushed. Crushed. And McElwain knew. Ask anybody who's familiar with that situation. He knew. He knew before that game was played. You got a guy in your locker room playing on his phone. Get the hell out of here. Not a staffer. Who is he? That was ridiculous. But that's been the thing. It's been brazen from the start. Guys like Chris Partridge, bad news. You hired him. Connor Stallion, nutcase. You hired him. That's not even a mention. You got a pedophile on your staff. Not anymore, you don't. How many more people need to get got before you start to believe you got to let the lone wolf thing go? And look, I'm not telling you not to enjoy your Thanksgiving, and I'm not telling you not to go enjoy your game Saturday. You better. Because I'm telling you, there are too many things going on here, and there's a lot behind the scenes. And I don't think it's over by a long shot. And the one thing I'm damn certain of, there are no way Harbaugh's here next year. None. None. It would be an impossibility. Now, David, where am I wrong?
I don't see anything wrong here.
Because you're like me.
Yeah.
You know another staff member is going to get it.
I see nothing wrong here. I just wonder where the people are that said due process. Where were they?
Where's Partridge's due process, huh?
Partridge gets fired and no one says due process. Connor gets fired, no due process. But there's due process for Jim Harbaugh, for the whole Michigan program is what they want. Look, where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's what I've always said from the beginning of this story. Everything seemed very smoky, okay?
Right.
A lot of things seem to be going on, and more has come out. More and more has come out, and more will come out.
I agree.
It ain't over yet.
No.
And also what was in that Big Ten report was the NCAA has more.
Oh.
Lots more.
100%. Well, hey, here's the other thing. Remember the whole, where's your evidence? The NCAA shared it with the Big Ten. You didn't agree to the 3 games.
Not at all.
You got your ass thrown out into the street with prejudice. You got launched out of a cannon. Your media has been wrong the whole way.
Because just as early as 24 hours before the court date, they were still saying they were going to fight it. All of a sudden, come on. They found something out, and it's because the NCAA told the Big Ten.
So
Flat
yeah,
out.
we didn't get a chance to do this on Friday. We weren't here. But to me, no, it's not normal. And it is, I'm telling you, there's more coming down the pipe. You can choose to live in delusion or you can choose to join us in reality.